Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good day and happy Father's Day for any fathers that we have out there. Okay, so today I saw a card that Patty Bennett did, and she called it a 2468 card. And this is a card. Isn't that cute? So you have two folds here. This is just one long piece of designer paper that is 5 1/4 by 12. And then you're going to add something to each of the accordion folds. I just thought that made a cute card. So I'm going to make one that's a little bit different that uses circles here instead of the squares. But I wanted to demonstrate that you could use a square because for people that don't have a punch or a die in a particular shape, squares are always easy just to cut out with your cutter. All right, so I know we're not in July yet, but I thought I would make a Christmas card. I thought this would make a really cute Christmas card. So I found some of my designer paper from last year. We haven't put out our paper yet from this year, and I thought that this piece would make a really pretty card. So remember, I'm going to be 5 1/4 by 12, and it's going to sit long ways. So if your card has direction, you want to make sure, I think I want my card to be this way. So you cut on the 5 1/4 side. Okay, and so that my card's going to be like that. All right, and then I am going to score it at 2, 4, 6, and 8. All right, that makes it really easy. Get my cutting blade out of the way. 2, 4, 6, and 8. All right, so that's scored at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Yeah, it's scored. Okay. For the base of the card, it's just going to be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So if you take just a regular sheet of cardstock, and you can cut it into 4. Cut it long ways at 4 1/4, and then cut it crossways at 5 1/2. Okay, you're just going to use the 1/4 of a piece as your base. Get those out of the way for a minute. All right. So I'm going to fold this. And of course, I've lost my bone folder. There it is. So the fun thing on this, of course, is that you will be able to see both sides of the paper when you fold it out, so you don't, lose one side. This one just did not make as good of a, there we go. All right, so now let's see, remember I had 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then you do a mountain, valley, right? And then that is just going to get adhered here to the base. And that's the whole card put together. I mean, it's super simple. Nope, that's the wrong one. Of course, where is my adhesive? Well, I'm just going to use the liquid today. Oh, there it is. We'll save the liquid for. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. You can use liquid, you can use tear and tape, you can use anything you want to adhere this piece down. There we go. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is just put something here, and then I'll have a piece in the very middle that we would use to sign. So I'm not going to use my circle sayings, but I am going to use the circle punch. So this is that 2 3/8 inch punch. And I was going to punch a couple of red circles. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and punch some white ones. You can absolutely stamp first if you want to. So, I mean, after you get this basic, made, then whatever shapes you're going to put on here, see if I put this one here, that one there, then you can put on the inside where you're going to sign it. I could put another circle just to make it even, 3 circles, or you could, cut out a rectangle or whatever you want to do there. So I pulled out this old tin of tags. I say old. It was from maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember. And I was going to stamp a couple things here. Warm Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. I always liked that one. This was a nice set for all the sayings. It was made to be used with the tags, but you can actually use it just, as words. Make sure I didn't test my, that looks fine. Okay, Warm Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. That's one. And then maybe Making Spirits Bright. I like that one. I wanted to find something, of course, that would fit in the circles. There we go. Right, and I don't know that I'm going to use both of those, but those are my choices that I have right now. Let me clean this off on the chamois. All right, so the reason that I punched out a couple of red, I think that this is not that sturdy by itself. So I thought I'd punch a little bit of red and offset it just a little bit like that. And that would make these a little more sturdy in your opening and closing and whatnot. I also wondered whether or not, let's see, I had a piece of this DSP also, and I wondered whether I could punch an actual poinsettia with this punch and use that on one of the circles. And you know what? I think it would fit. So I'm going to try that also. And then I've been keeping my, extra green pieces and whatnot that I punch out for Christmas time. I keep those separate in case I wanted just a piece of something. I had some poinsettias made, but they're with the cherry cobbler, so I didn't want to put those with this. But I think I might like I would put that on the front maybe. I like that. Okay. Let me and I'm gonna, oops, I think I'm gonna go offset from this side. I'm gonna offset it just a little bit so you can see some of that red behind here. And I'm gonna put that one on the front of the card, and I think I'm gonna add some greenery. So remember on the first card, I just had the squares and I matted them. But on this one, that one matches. I think I'm going to put some actual greenery. Again, you just mess around with this. You know, I like to keep the extras when I make these, and I just keep them in a separate container. And that way, if I'm looking just for a piece of greenery, now I've covered up the poinsettia, but that's okay. And then I'll put some down this side. Whoops. I wanted that to be like that. You don't want to put adhesive over the whole back because I'm only attaching it here. All right, so now that one's attached. And then I think I'll take the warm bushes and do that. So you could either punch out and use, words, or you could stamp an image on here. You could, like I did, punch out from your designer paper. There's no right or wrong, and there's also no there's also no barriers as to whether you could use a square, you could use some of the fun shapes, you could use ovals. On this one I used the circles. Wishes and mistletoe kisses. I think I want to add another little piece of greenery there. Maybe one of these. Like that. I don't want to, maybe like that. So it's showing. Sometimes it's hard to decide where you want to put them. These are a little big, but put that right there so you can still read. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a circle to the, and that's where I would sign it, is on the inside. And like I say, you could put a bigger one. You could put a rectangle or something. I was just going to keep with the circles. And I'll show you the other one too, because I kind of kept with the, there we go. Then you should be able to see the edge of that. Just not really. Okay, good. All right, so we have, sorry, I got some glue on there. We added one circle to the first mountain, one circle to the second mountain, and they're offset, so you'll be able to see them both, and then one in the middle. Did I make a cute card? Okay, and the original, again, I used squares, so I added one to the top of the first mountain, one to the top of the second mountain, and then I put a square on the inside. So squares, this one's circles. You could easily, like I say, do any shape that you have or that you want. The squares and the rectangles would work better if you don't have the dies or the punches and you just want to cut the pieces out yourself. So I hope you might try Patty Bennett's 2468 card. Very, very simple. You get to see both sides of the designer paper, and it just makes a fun, kind of an interactive card. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.